Hey everybody, Guanyu15 here, and today we're gonna run through Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulation. Kind of a fun game. I've been playing for about 30 hours now. Just want to get it out there so people can take a look and see what it looks like, how it plays. I'm by no means an expert in it, but like I said, put about 30 hours into it, and I'm really enjoying the main campaign here. So we'll take a look, and I guess let's see, it says Apocalypse Survival Simulation. I describe it more of as like a crafting kind of survival base management. Maybe base management's pretty good. But let's just run into here, and you can see a little bit of the basics, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to put a new game. I'm going to put challenging. I'm going to roll my seed a little bit just because I can. I'm going to be in vanilla, which is fine. Challenging is the normal difficulty, so I like it. If you want to learn the game, you can go to a little bit of the easier ones, but challenging is kind of for... you can see what it says. It is the way the game was meant to be played. So that's what we'll start with here. You can put tutorials on. I don't really need them, so we'll just go ahead and start. Now, we get 3 survivors to start with. You can roll these. You can come up with new people and stuff. They each have classes and skills. And then the faces and all that stuff you can change once you get in. So you can customize right here. You only customize their looks. You can't customize their actual thing. Let's talk a little bit about the classes. The classes give you some base skills, like an artisan, academic, engineer. Academic's going to be more likely to have research skills. Engineer's going to be like building stuff. Artisan's going to be, who knows. And then they're going to have some abilities to kind of like, so like he's a lab assistant, research speed plus 60%. He's an alien abductee, rituals plus 30%, research plus 30%, melee minus 20%, evasion plus 12%, and can do some equipping stuff. Health plus 8%. So yeah, they all got a little bit more stuff, and you can see as you reroll, you can get different people with different classes, different abilities. The samurai's pretty strong. I recommend him for somebody. Yeah, as you go. Honestly, if you ask me, I would get somebody who's a really good academic, somebody who's really good at that kind of stuff. Maybe someone who's a pretty good at working, maybe even a farmer of some sort. Let's see here, survival. I should look at that survivalist. I don't need the engineer. No, I'm just saying gatherer is pretty good. Scavenge speed, water speed, chop speed. Chop speed's pretty good. But yeah, you want somebody who's really good at research, I think, to start with. Somebody that's pretty good at like getting supplies, and maybe one other one. And I'll roll for a little bit here, and then we'll come to see what I find out. Okay, so we found out who we think we're going to use. We're going to use Brad, Jesse, and John here. These are the guys we kind of rolled up. The samurai is an interesting class. He's really good. He's got a master swordsman, which kind of gives him extra damage. But I also like that he's clever, so he can craft a little bit faster and do some extra research stuff if he needs to. A little bit faster on there. For our research, we took the librarian, who can not only do research speed a little bit less than the other guy, but plus 60 is pretty good. It can also do the occult research speed, which is the secondary form of research. And then we got our survivalist over here, who's a naturalist, so he can do all our farming, plus 75% farming. He's slow, which doesn't really matter too much, but he's also a laborer, so his work speed goes up. You can see that his research sucks, so he's obviously not going to be doing any research for us. And he's a bodybuilder, so he gets some nutrition and health and stuff. That stuff's not really matter as much, so we'll just get going here. And as the game loads, it'll give us...
It was one of your monthly...
We'll just go ahead and skip past that. I would recommend doing the campaign, reading it. It's interesting, at least as far as I'm in so far. Okay, so here we go. You know what? I'm actually going to skip. This is just kind of the tutorial. I'll skip through this, and we'll meet back here in a second. Okay, so the game loads up, and we're looking at our 3 survivors in the midst of a large kind of resource-laden map. I paused the game up here. You can kind of see it does move on a normal kind of RTS-like feeling, but you can pause as well. Looking around the map, there's a few resources like you would in most games. There's lumber or trees. We got some stone here, and we got some rubble. Rubble's where you can find some scraps. Scrap is kind of like the currency of the world, and some medicine as well. Up here we got some clay, and then some more advanced stuff that like metals and stuff we eventually can start researching. We'll go through our stuff. You can see our missions. Our mission is these. I would go through the missions, and as they pop up, they do kind of keep you going through the whole storyline as you go. And you can play this game without the storyline, just kind of like a how long can you survive kind of thing, which is pretty fun as well. But I'd recommend doing this first. So this is our base inventory. This is what we start with. We start with some water, some stone, some wood, and some salad. Create tasks allows us to like cut stuff down. We can cut big areas. You can kind of drag stuff. But we'll do all that in a second here. Colony management's do other things. So for now, we're just going to build. And what do they want us to build? They want us to build a log cabin, a well, and a food table and bed, so our people can go do stuff. So let's go to build, and we'll just build a small log cabin. We're going to pick somewhere that's kind of centered to resources. That kind of helps out. There's a lot more stone down here, a lot more wood. There's just metal. Yeah, it's metal up here. It's going to be a while before we get that. You know what? Let's just pick something like, and there's some actually good metal and stuff in here too. Let's pick like right in here. This seems like a good spot. So let's go to build. We're going to build our log cabin. We're going to stick it right here for now. Yeah, that looks good. And we're going to build our well. Put our well right in front. It doesn't let you, like, if you block the one entrance that there's going to be, it won't let you put it down. So, in other words, the entrance is going to be, like, right here, probably. So we'll put our well there. And what else? They want us to build a bed and a food table, but we got to put that inside there. So we'll let people go and do their thing. I'll speed it up a little bit here. Now, if we look at their actual tasks, they do their tasks based on what you kind of prioritize them to do. So while we do that, I'm going to have, what's Jesse do? He's the occultist. So let's just look at their skills real quick. So this brings up Jesse's skill page. You can see there's his skill effects over there. Let's look up at Brad. Brad's got some crafting speed, but nobody has any really building speed. He's clever. I think I did know that. He's a laborer, so he's got work. Nobody's got any extra building, which is fine. So they're all just going to kind of do their stuff. And you can see as we level up, we're going to have some ability to do some stuff, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Their stats pretty much look the same because nobody has any armor or weapons set up. And you can see that they have a health bar, they have a nutrition bar. That's basically how much food they got, and they need to sleep as well. But that's pretty much all you need to take care of for their overall just. What do you call it? They're just their overall well-being, so to speak. And while they're building that, I'm going to go to create tasks. I'm going to chop down a bunch of these trees right here, just because I can. And then whoever's not doing anything, like Brad's not doing anything, he's going to find himself and go over and chop down these trees as well. Actually, once John's done, he'll do it too. Once he's done building here. And their speed is determined based on their how fast they do that. So is it Jesse that works? I think it might be Jesse that, no. Who works faster? John works faster. So John's actually going to be able to, so his priority is to get water. But let's go ahead and build the other stuff they wanted us to, which is a food prep table. We'll throw it in there. And a bed so people can sleep. You can rotate with the little comma buttons there. But for now, we'll just do this. And then we'll move on to some other things once it pops up. Alright, learning to farm. Build an experiment table and research farming. So there's research in this game. Let's go ahead and build our experiment table. This comes where the researching comes into play. And actually, since John's not doing anything, now Jesse is immediately going over to research. Now, why is that? Well, let's look at our priorities. Everybody sets up their priorities based on what they want to do. So you can see Jesse, who has a 60% bonus in research. From left to right, these are his research or his priorities. So if there's ever any research open, he will do that before doing anything else. Similarly, Brad's going to craft before he does anything else if there's something to craft. If there's nothing to craft, then he'll do some research and he'll kind of go down there. And you can even drag these around. The ones with the arrows are preferred tasks. They get experience a little bit faster as they do that stuff. So John is going to be our crafter. He's our builder and our crafter, and he's actually going to be our farmer too, because he's really good at farming. And he's actually really good at most stuff. This is that 20%, what do you call it, extra work thing that he gets. So it's crafting. Just want to make sure everything's good. Everything looks good from there. Let's actually move this up to here. And we'll just kind of let them go do their thing for a while. Jesse's going to go start doing some research. And research, you don't research a specific thing right away. You just generate research. So you can kind of see up here, we're generating research. Jesse's going pretty quick. This is our main food, our water. It tells you about how much they use per day in colony management. Yep, 2.9 per day, 3.4 per day. And John doesn't need to be doing this, but and you can manually assign them to do tasks as well. Well, if I don't want John to do them, I want to go quarry stone, I can make him do that instead. So we'll get some research here, and we'll come back when we got enough. Alright, so that was a lot faster than I thought it would be. I'll go ahead and pause it so you can see. In the research tab up here, we got 5 different types. Base research, crafting, weapons. Those are your kind of regular research. You can see you can unlock stuff. This takes 5 research to unlock, and we get vegetable farms. We have 12, so we have enough to unlock that. We'll go ahead and click it. Pew, we can now build vegetable farms. As we go down, you can see it's a pretty long and extensive list, and this is just the base list. Eventually we can get flammables. So we can go and build some farms. This is, let's just build reinforced outfits, and let's move into cooking, which gives us wheat farms, stoves, and breads. All stuff to kind of build along a production line. Crafting, that lets us build... that's basically making stuff. So you can start with woodworking, you go down to metalworking, mineral extraction, geology, and you go way far down there. This gives us quarterstaffs. We can build boards and shields and training areas and sawmills and all kinds of good things. Similar to weapons, lets us build bows, crossbows, etc. And there are some things that we don't have. Like you can see the cost of this is not only do you need science research, but you need research materials, which is a kind of a rare resource that you need to go scavenge from certain places. So we won't be doing that anytime soon. And the other 2 researches are occult and rituals. Now these are that secondary research I mentioned before. So if we go to our priorities, occult research right here. So in order to research occult research, we need to build something else, but we're not going to worry about that right now until it tells it to. And this gives us some other stuff, especially for like our not role playing, but the storyline will tell us, hey, we need to figure out demon origins and magical crafting. If you, I suppose you don't even know, but the whole point of this is that there's demons everywhere. We don't know where the hell they came from. We're survivors in a forest. Let's go. So we got farming. Let's build a farm, huh? Yeah, look at our nice vegetable farm. Generally like to have all my farms in one area, but it's not a big deal if we don't, I suppose. Let's put the farm over here. Food source. Build 2 vegetable farms. Alright, I can do that too. And then you can see that nobody's really building those. Because everybody else has... They have... Oh, he went and got 8. He went 8. Good job. So John's been manually assigned. Let's move him over here and see what he does. He is the survivalist. Isn't he the guy that builds more? John. Yeah, he's more my builder. So since it's a higher priority than quarrying, if left of his own devices, he's going to do that. And we'll continue to I mean, we don't need to keep getting more research, but it never hurts. We can unlock like... Oh, you unlock a bunch of stuff, but we'll just keep going for now. We don't need any resources really right now, so we'll just keep going. The vegetable farms, once you make them, they're going to be able to make you can make the most basic food, which is like salads, as they go. And as you look at them, you can see they have a tending and a maturity. Tending needs to stay up. Basically, it's kind of like a cycle. If it gets to 0, it's not going to mature. And maturity, once it gets to 100, you can harvest it. We can blow it up and stuff, but we don't really need to. And again, they'll go ahead and do it automatically as needed if it's on there. But, oh, John's leaving. He must be hungry. Oh, he's tired. He got to go sleepy time. And they will do that automatically. Yep. So as he sleeps, his goes up, but his food goes way down. How are we looking for base inventory? We got a bunch. We'll keep getting wood. And let's say like I wanted to keep building this. What I would do is I would go to Brad, and I would set my priorities for Brad, and I would say, Brad, instead of doing that, do you mind building for me? Where's your build? Build. I'd throw that way up there, and Brad's going to decide, okay, I'll go build there. It's not the most productive thing in the world because John's a better builder, so I might as well just wait for him to do that. And you can't really tell, but he is building this 20% slower because that's what he does. And John's tending to the crops because he is first on farming. Craft 3 clubs. We can do that. Let's go ahead and put John's priorities back to crafting and research and stuff. Now you will see that actually I think we're going to need, don't we need yeah, in order to build clubs, which I'd love to do. These clubs. 1, 2, 3. Crafting shows you everything that you have. And Brad's over there making clubs. Hey, our base is being attacked. You need to defend it. Whenever you're being attacked, it kind of gives you this little timer countdown so you can see what you need to do. We'll go ahead and equip our clubs to these guys so they can at least defend themselves a little bit. And you can kind of look a little bit at what combat looks like. Enemies upon you. Oh, not quite yet. He loves to do his water. I want you to go scavenge for a little bit. Alright, so 30 seconds about. At this point, I'd normally be clustering my people all together so that when the combat starts here, it's not so, they're not all over the place. It does give you a nice little point where you can equip people with different stuff. You see what everybody is. So we're going to pause it. Looks like we just have one minor demon, which isn't a big deal. Brad is my samurai, and remember, my Brad does have like a bunch of bonuses. Actually, 15% damage evasion plus 15%, and movement speed a little bit too. So he's going to take the lead. I'd really like the other guys to have some sort of like ranged weapon at this point, but we don't have any of that, so let's go ahead. And you see they run around and they do stuff. Now, the thing about this combat is it seems really simplistic. It really does. It seems like you can see there's cover markers and such. And there's like a percentage that they hit people. It's actually much more not intuitive, but much more detailed than you'd think. Like as we go, we get flanking bonuses that aren't shown. We get accuracy bonuses and stuff. People take damage. But we're going to beat our first minor demon. Suck it. We get some loot, which is basically just sulfur. Shows us that we killed a guy. We get a little bit more experience. Scavenging and scavenge a nearby location. So we'll do that next. I don't think we can craft these things. If we research patchwork, can we craft these? No, we need a workbench. Okay, so we'd have to build a workbench, which we'll do, but since they want us to go scavenge a nearby location, let's do that. So we go to the world view here, and you can see we have a little patch of land with a bunch of different locations. Our home is right there. If you scroll out, it's actually pretty big, this area. This whole world is really, really big. Eventually it takes a long time just to get to most places. And we start in this kind of, I guess you would call it like a plains biome. I'm not positive. Yeah. And there's a bunch of different places, and you click on them, you'll see what they are. This is a farm. There's 2 fire imps, and we get some vegetables and some scraps there. And there's 1 minor demon, we get some scraps there. Same thing as you go around. Those are farms. We got industrial, we get a little bit more different resources. Housing, we'd get more resources, and I think there's a military base here. You get some arrows. What's this, a church? Yeah. And as you go out, as we go out further, we're going to get much more difficult enemies. It's going to take us longer to get there, and we'll get different types of resources. And there's actually different biomes too. Like there's a desert biome where you can get unique stuff. There's a city biome where you can get a lot more of those research materials and such. And there's a forest biome where you can get resin, a bunch of. Everything has a little bit more unique kind of a thing. But since it wants us to go scavenge a place, we're going to go ahead and create a task force. And we're going to say everybody's part of this task force. You cannot leave your base completely empty. All right? So who is our researcher? That's you, right? So we'll go ahead and leave him back, and we'll take the samurai and the survivalist. It automatically makes them the bombers, but I'm not digging that. So let's take the bombers here and manage them. We'll add them. And we'll make them the the tokers. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. The tokers are ready to roll. I'll click on the tokers, and let's just go to this farm right here and hit scavenge. I'll unpause it, and away we go. As soon as you get there, you'll be hit with the screen that says, here's going to be the fight. It's going to be you against 2 fire imps, and you can fight it, you can auto-resolve it, you can cancel it. I'd highly recommend not auto-resolving it for a while, at least until you're pretty confident that you can beat the guys without too much damage. There's natural healing, and there is some kind of magical healing, I guess you would call it. But especially in the early game, you want your guys to be pretty strong. So I would definitely not auto do it right away. So this is the combat map. It's a different map. Everyone's going to be, I think it's just differently generated. This one looks like a farm. And you can do these one of two ways. You can either run around and find the crates that those supplies are in, and you can scavenge them, which is kind of what we're doing. I need to turn the speed up because this is going to be really hard. And you kind of look on your mini map up in the right-hand corner. It'll show you if you see. Oh, okay, so here's a crate. It's got a big exclamation point on it. Now, what we could do is John could start scavenging this, and we could get the two things that wasn't there two things that were in here or one? Don't remember. But let's just see. The enemies, as we talk right now, are patrolling around the area, so they could run into you. You could run into them. Yep. Speak of the devil. Haha. Speak of the devils. So the firearms ran into us. We're gonna fight them, obviously, and I don't think we have any cover. These are ranged units, but if we're in melee with them, then it should be okay. Not sure why they want me to move there. There we go. Okay. My guy is going to automatically move to the other side of this guy, just because that's the easiest way for him to get an attack. So we're going to beat these fire imps. Now, we could go through and scavenge all these crates, or we could just beat all the enemies. If you beat all the enemies, it looks like this is going to go pretty quick. You immediately win. You get everything that's on the map. I see Brad got 9 experience. We got our 2 sulfur, scrapes, and vegetables. The sulfur's from killing these guys. So this is what would have been in the crates. 15 vegetables in one crate, 15 scraps in another one. Instead, we just get it because effectively there's no more enemies in that location. And you just take your time and get stuff. So our next our mission is to have 4 survivors. Hey, someone is needing assistance. This is kind of how you get people. The main way you get people is someone nearby is being chased by enemy creatures. Send a team to assist them, and they'd be willing to join you. Alright, so the first one's pretty simple, if I remember right. And they're right here. You have 1 enemy, but it's a little bit different than 1. But we'll send a rescue team over there right now. See who we can get. And it's going to look very similar with one key difference is we actually have to release the person and survive the attack or the reinforcement attack. And these ones you cannot auto-resolve. There's more than people will keep appearing depending on how fast you get things or how fast you do the rescuing. So it's good to try to do it as fast as possible. I think if you bring somebody who's got bonuses in scavenging, I think it's scavenging, then they will release the people faster, and that'll make more sense here in a second. Once we find who we're looking for, up in the corner here. Okay, so we got somebody stuck here. Trap survivor. I don't think anybody has anything that's... oh, he has a tangle. Interesting. I've never used that. That's one of his abilities. Yeah, I don't think any... Oh, no, he's got work speed, but nobody has... I think work speed might actually... Laborer might give him a bonus to scavenge. So I'm going to use John as my person that's going to know how to open this. And Brad's going to be the one who defends him. And as soon as you start opening it, like right away, all the enemies on the map are alerted to you. And they start coming towards you. So you might want to take out the enemies first and then do it. That way when the reinforcements come, it's not so overbearing. I'm going to use his special ability called Charge, which basically gives him 25% evasion. So I'm going to use that real quick as I fight this demon. And I got to keep doing this, otherwise if we stop, more demons can come before we get it done. But we'll see what happens here. So it looks like there is going to be another demon appearing any minute. And if Brad starts getting his head beat in, we'll move to help him out. It's just an imp, so it should be a little bit easier than the demon, but who knows. Alright, looks like it did it. Okay, so we found Amaya. Cool. Amaya is another samurai. Interesting. I would have preferred like a worker at this point, but oh well. So you see it. We've saved her. Yay! But unfortunately, we need to leave the map. Leaving the map is the same place you came in here. It says retreat. And reinforcements can continue to come. Now, early on, I don't think they will, so I'll just hit F1 and make them all retreat automatically. I don't think we'll have to worry about anybody else coming back. As they run for the exit. So you can see Brad's kind of messed up. And, oh, I just I went right through that. It basically said who we killed, who we survived, and how much of stuff. And how much stuff we got. Build an occult library and research demon origins. We can do that. We're going to send our tokers and send them to recall, so they're going to head back home. And that survivor, Amaya that we rescued, she's already here. She like just kind of starts here. Let's take a look at her, see what we got. She's a samurai, but look at her skills. So she's religious, which gives her occult research speed negative, but accuracy with holy weapons, awareness generation +1. Ooh, I do not like awareness generation +1. So I would normally not want to get her, but what are you going to do? She's healthy and she's a brute. She is not good at all. I don't like her. What is she good at? Like, I guess she's good at hitting things, right? But she's not even that good at hitting things. She just gives +50% damage. She's not a very good worker. So she's going to be on my my task force to go, like, hit things, pretty much. But until then, let's just take a look at her, set up her priorities. Yeah, she's bad at everything. Even training, which is kind of what the brutes do. But, so she's just kind of hanging around, doing her thing. And she'll come join us, and she'll start doing one of her tasks she deems the most, like, that we've actually had. And you can see our survivors appeared. Brad's here. Brad's hurt. He's at 50 hit points. He's going to slowly kind of heal right now, because I don't have any way to make him heal faster. But yeah, that's okay. So let's go ahead and build our secondary. And I do not like the way that I'm setting up this base. Just so you know, I'm aware that it looks horrible, but this is for educational purposes only. So we need to build this occult library, which requires boards. We cannot build boards, and it also requires clay. So, in order to be able to build boards and clay, we need to go into our research thing here and go to craft. Woodworking costs 30. We got enough. Now we can build a sawmill, and we can make boards with our sawmill. I won't deal with cooking right now. Yeah, we'll just do some of these basic ones for now, and then we'll move from there. But we are going to need clay. Some down here. So I'm actually just going to send you down here to do the clay right now. Actually, hi, Katie. Did I see some up here? Nope, I think this is it. Alright, so go do your clay. One thing to note is that when you're sending people pretty far away, if you don't have a bed and food table nearby, they're going to spend a lot of time moving back and forth as their food and energy gets low. For instance, she's going to do this clay until she can't have her food gets so low. And that might only be like 5 or 6 clay. And then she has to walk all the way back and use the bed and the food table. Whereas if I put like a... see, there she goes. She's already going back. If I put like a... She needs to eat. She's very hungry. If I put like another cabin down here with another food table and another bed eventually, then she would be a little more efficient in that. And we are auto crafting vegetable salads, so like whenever our crop comes up, we'll watch the next crop that comes up. I probably don't need Brad doing this anymore. Is Brad good at anything else? I would highly suggest you have somebody basically doing research the whole time. As you can see, it gets ridiculous when you get down here. Like this costs 2,100 research points. And that's just there. Going on to crafting. This one costs 1,000. And as you go through, it resets each time. So you're definitely going to need a lot of research points. Where'd she go? Oh, see, she ran all the way back. She probably mined once, and now she's got to go back and sleep because she's tired. It just gets to be... It speaks to like wanting to keep all your stuff close, or at least a bed and a table close, or food table close to where the resources are that you want to grab. We are going to need a sawmill, which requires a little more wood. So, why don't... Oh, he finished his scavenging, so I think he'll just go and start getting wood. Yeah, good. No. Of course, he's tired. Alright, guys, let's move on. Now, let's talk about something else as we move. You see this awareness meter down here? Pretty cool little meter, huh? It says 19 per day, 23%. when this gets to 100, we're going to be attacked by a small group of demons. And then it'll reset. And this will go up a little bit, like to 20 a day. And then when that gets to 100, we're going to be attacked. And then it'll go up to 21 a day. That's called your awareness. And the reason it's at 19 instead of 18 right now is because of Maya, if you remember her. She has this religious stuff, which increases her awareness generation by +1 for the entire base. If you can eventually get some stuff, like level 2 scouting, level 3 scouting here, gives the awareness generation of -2, which you can take. So a couple of those people will help you kind of avoid that, as well as when you get down to, I can't build there, it's under research, base. Once we get down to kind of, isn't it here? Where are you? Definitely not that far. Is it a craft? Where are you? Well, anyways, there is a... It's got to be under base. Early warning. Here we go. Lookout posts. If you have people do your lookout post, they generate... As they do that, they generate -5 awareness per lookout post, which is kind of nice. All right. So how are we doing for our research? For our... Well, I think we got enough to build some boards now. So let's go into craft. I want to craft some board. Oh, we need to work. We need this mill first, don't we? So let's build our sawmill. Let's throw it right here. So we need that to build boards. And you can see we got somebody that leveled up. It looks like John leveled up. John is good at, he's our, that's right, he's our laborer. So he's probably getting 20% more experience than most people, simply because he's working 20% faster with being a laborer. Oh, and the farm speed, it goes way up. So I get to decide what I want with John. He's a survivalist. He's going to be my farmer, I think. So you can kind of see as you go through here, you're like farming speed +20, farming speed +30, +50, and then farming yield. I'm not sure if it's bugged or if it just doesn't tell you what it does, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So I don't know if that's a bug or not. Or we can make him something else. I want to make him really good at gathering stuff, which will increase his scavenging speed and his water speed and his chop speed. Or just make him a fighter or something. Important, what I would recommend is, if you go through this, is to look at these last ones, because these last ones have some interesting things that you need to choose from. Anything with a plus you need to choose from. So let's say I give him a level of evasion. When I click evasion, it's going to give me an option of either taking +3% evasion or patrol speed +50%. Patrolling is that thing that allows you to reduce awareness in those kind of patrol bases or whatever. But that's a little bit further down the line. Same thing here. If I take level 2 evasion, I can take either evasion +5% or awareness generation -5%. So when we get down to the end here, if he took stalwart, he could take either the heal ability, the protection ability, or the holy man, which allows him to equip rare holy armor. So let's say I take gathering. This is one that I'm not even sure which is the best one to do. I guess if you're making somebody be just a gatherer, doubling the yield chance is pretty good. In other words, if they're chopping 1 wood, they have a 20% chance to chop 2 wood, which helps a bit. But he's going to be my farmer, I think, at first, then maybe my gatherer. So I'm going to put that into farming, let him go and do his business, move on. And you can kind of see if I go to my priorities, he's up to 115% farming, which is really good. So he definitely is the person I want to be doing farming for me. And since it's his first priority, whenever this needs it, he will be the one doing it. In fact, I think he'll probably even stop. He might even stop building this once this gets to 100% because that's his top priority. Let's check. What are you going to do, John? Well, first he's got to go eat and sleep. Oh, come on, buddy. See, all he did was eat, and then he went back and slept. I wonder if I could change it so that... No, I can't. See, I would like to be able to change this, like, so it's at like a 10% threshold, but I think it's automatic. So, yeah, there's 100% maturity. Let's go, John. Come on, get over here. And he should do this before he continues building, because of his priorities. Well, actually, Brad's building anyways. Look how fast he does that. And we get 12 vegetables. Yay! Now, I can't eat vegetables, so they will automatically be turned into salads. And the reason I know that is because if I right-click on salads, I have auto-crafting. There's a minimum and maximum that I want to use. Who would be doing my crafting? It is Brad would be doing my crafting. Brad's currently doing this. But when he's done with this, he should turn these vegetables into salads. Although I'm sure he'll have to sleep in the meantime there. So. All right, I'll speed up a little bit here, Brad. Alright, we'll just pause a little bit here. Alright, so Brad's still building this thing, but I found a scouting party. And enemy scouting parties nearby. I need to take them out or else they'll increase my awareness. So as we continue to do this, you see we get a timed mission. It's an active event. Actually, before we do that, I'll go ahead and go into crafting because I need some boards, right? I need boards for a few reasons. I need boards to build my occult research library there. I need 4 boards. I need a bunch of stones too. I should change her to stones. But I also need boards because I'd like to craft these quarterstaffs. Quarterstaffs do 18 damage or 9.6 DPS and give you plus 8% evasion compared to the clubs that do 10 damage or 5.3 DPS. So I'd also like to build a few of these too. And maybe even some reinforced outfits once I can build a workbench. So I'm going to go ahead and click to build a few boards. But I need a bunch, so I'm going to hold shift just to give 10. I think there's a way to actually do 100. Oh, it's right there. Left control is times 100. I think I get by with like 15 or so. And then we'll let see Brad's going to start doing this because he's our crafter guy. But I need to go take out this task force. Ooh, it has an imp, a bunch of 2 fire demons. That's actually not an easy one. I should probably bring 3 people. But I'm not the smartest guy in the world, so I'm going to try to get away with just, I'm going to get rid of John. Let's get the other samurai and take the survivalist off, yeah. And then I'll give, can I take his club away? I can, sweet. I'll give you a club. I do make some pools and stuff. But anyways, we're going to send our 2 samurais. Yeah, let's go samurais. Samurai attack. And this isn't kind of a dangerous attack, honestly. I would normally send 3, but I'm just being a little greedy here. Because the entire time that you're out doing stuff, you're not doing this, right? I'm actually going to send Jesse over to craft these boards. Just because our research is really high. And while he is not the best at crafting and trying to get food, must need food. And we'll get a little pause here as we jump into our fight here. Okay, so Brad and Amaya. And one thing to note is that time does not move in the real world, so to speak, during your fights. It's 10:45 now. Speed's moving. See, look. You can only, yeah, there we go. But it'll be 10:45 when I get out of this fight. Brad's got evasion. Amaya has nothing. Neither of them are super hungry, so that's good. So let's move on here and see to. Now our whole goal here is to take out this raiding party. So there's nothing to there's nothing to break into. There's nothing to steal. No one to save. We just got to find some demons. And it looks like I spotted one on my map here. And oh, I should probably mention this. Okay, so as you look, you can see that there are these little dots. This is the demon's visual range. When they can see you, they will attack, obviously, and anybody in their group will attack. So I'm going to actually see if I can like set some sort of trap for this fire demon. Fire demons are ranged units. So I'm going to wait a second here. And if you can, you should definitely fight. Oh, they saw me. You should fight from behind cover, but you should also break up the groups. I'd rather fight one group or 3 groups rather than one big group. All right, so we know there's 4 enemies here, and that's one of the fire imps. So this probably shouldn't be too bad. There's the other 3. All right, and it looks like they are in a big group. I'm gonna try to find a place that gives me some cover so that fire imp can't constantly hit me. There's that fire imp. I'll hide from him. Okay, good. This actually helps a lot. So let's go ahead and try to take out this imp right now. The fire imp's And we got a little bit of cover from the fire imp, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and give Brad some minor evasion chance. See, Brad's getting his butt kicked. And let's go take out the fire imp. I should mention, there are a few different things here. Let's look at Brad. Brad, you can see he's got 2 bars. He's got his green bar, and this took me a while to figure out. He's got his green bar, which is his current health, his silver bar, which is the health that he's going to heal after this encounter, and the health that can be healed during this encounter, and the other bar, which can only be healed, I think, either naturally or with rest. So there'd come a time where I would start a board, and it would just, he'd be full up to here, but I couldn't heal this extra part even with my abilities, and that's because that can only be healed naturally. So even if I had a heal ability right now, I could only heal up to here, so he'd still be injured in a way. But let's continue our beat down that fire imp. We got our survivors. They get some experience. We get some sulfur, some kills. More importantly, we don't have to worry about our awareness generation going up. See, you kind of see it healed that much right there. So now he's a little bit more healthier, and this can only be healed naturally. So you gotta be a little careful with how much damage your guys take. On the way back, we could stop and loot some of these places, and you know what? I'll just do an auto-generated on this one just so you can kind of see what that looks like as we go through here. And so now times movement was 10:45, now it's 11:10 because, well, I've been moving. But our base continues to do stuff. If I clicked on our base, you'd see it doing stuff. People would be building boards and researching crap and doing stuff. Nice jump, kitty. Okay, so there's one minor demon. I think we're pretty good here, but let's do the auto-resolve and see what happens. Yeah, we took him out pretty easily. We did get hurt a little bit, as you can see, but that's okay. Get some experience. We get our 22 vegetables, and we kill the guy, and then we'll just go ahead and send everybody home. All right. And we got to level up. Okay, so... Oh, wait. Does she need stone? What do we need to... We got our boards are in the middle being built. We need to get that occult research, right? So that is 6 stones. So Amara, oh, she's got to eat and stuff. And you can notice Brad is messed up, right? He's healing? No, where's Brad? Oh, he gets to level up. He's got health. He's missing 35 health, and that only comes back naturally, or when you get like triage centers kind of thing. Whose level is up? Is it Brad? See, you can see Brad's got some different abilities than the other people. That's determined by your class, I believe. So I could take like evasion, which gives him plus 3% evasion. I could give him melee, which gives him more damage. Melee defense, which is better evasion. Damage. Honestly, I think I'm going to give him melee defense. He's going to be my kind of front line guy. He's already got good evasion. No, you do this. I need stone. And somebody has already crafted our vegetables into salad. John moves over, does the garden. In fact, as far as my priorities go, I'm going to take John, and I'm going to actually just move up there. And that should make him... Oh, not that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. There. That should make him go chop. Once he does his farming duties, he'll go chop over here, I think. And one nice thing is that there's not one centralized place for resources. Like, once you get a resource, it's in your base. You don't gotta, like, drop it off somewhere. That allows you to have multiple crafting places, multiple cooking spots anywhere, multiple research centers anywhere. It doesn't really matter. Let's take a look and see if we can finally build our cult library. We can. Pow. And let's make sure somebody has a priority for building. Craft. Who's our builder? Oh, it's this guy. That's right, I set him to chop trees first. Oops, I meant to do that. Sorry. And I do a little bit of bottleneck right now with people, or like abilities. Like John's really good at farming, but he's also only my builder, and sometimes building these stuff takes a long time. Where's he going now? Oh, he's got to farm first. And now he's Where are you going? Oh, he's sleeping. One thing to be of note is currently, as it stands, demons and other creatures cannot break buildings. So eventually you might like unlock, what do you call it? You might unlock like things that allow you to build sandbags and such, and barricades. But honestly, you could just like surround your base with these pretty cheap log wagons. I mean, they're only 15 wood, which is pretty cheap, and the demons can't get through basically. So I hope they change that. I mean, this game's been out for a long time. There's not a lot of updates, so I don't think they ever will. But and I'm sure it's a big thing to code damage to buildings and structures. But it even makes it so you don't really need to build your like stone buildings, because you don't get anything better out of that really. All right, cult research is done. Let's change our researcher, who is this guy right here. Let's change that to there. Down there, and he should stop doing his regular research. And he's gonna go over and do that research. Actually, it looks like Jesse beat him to it. So Jesse was doing it. Oh no, I moved him there. Okay. Let's check out our regular research here. We could go ahead and unlock cooking, get some wheat farms, water conservation, and water usage goes way down. I can't do first aid yet. First aid gives you that infirmary, which allows you to heal people. You can also build first aid kits. Farming tending needs are nice. And somebody leveled up. Who was it? Jesse the occultist. So he's our researcher basically. He's going to be doing nothing but researching. So I want him to research. Interesting. He is a librarian that does occult research, but he can't do regular research. Huh. Okay. So that's something to note, is that he doesn't have regular research buffs, which kind of sucks. Yeah. So I guess I should probably be taking like a researcher rather than a occultist or something. But I mean, we can always get a cultist later. I mean, a researcher later. This is interesting. It actually brings me to something I was going to mention before. We'll look at these ones. So remember, these pluses allow you to choose something. So if I take rituals to level 4, he can choose between ritual efficiency, and rituals are pretty powerful. I definitely use them. You're going to be using them a lot. Hexing or concentrate. Why can't I say that? You know what I'm saying. Buildings. Consecrate. It just looks weird. Consecrate buildings. If you need to consecrate a building and you don't have anybody that can consecrate a building, you can't consecrate a building. And that sucks. And they don't really tell you that. So then you have a hard time doing that. Let me see if there's anybody who has building. Does anybody have building? Brad, you got crafting. Same thing for like crafting if you want to. No, that's not right. I guess there's nobody who has building right now. Could have swore somebody had it. I think it's called engineering. I'm not sure. But anyways, the last one says build defensive buildings, which if you don't have somebody that can do that, you can't build defensive buildings, which sucks. So I'd definitely be well aware of those as you look through people's stuff to make sure there's nothing in there that you might not want to beeline to or kind of a thing. I'm going to do rituals for him because I can. And I think we can do research. We can go over to Demon Origins. Kaplow! Because that's what we needed to do. And it says, good job. Yay, you did it. Now here's your next thing. Go look at shrines and stuff. So I think that's about it. You know, I'm just going to try to walk around real quick and show people like how vast this world can be. Assuming these people don't get hit in the face or something. It's big as you go out and further, and you can see I've ran into a city biome here, and there's a bunch of different other stuff, and there's some water up there. Oh, who's this? We got some New Atlanta. So those are, I think, like, yeah, I can introduce myself. These are other surviving places. You reach New Atlanta. As you approach, you go on your stairs, ma'am. It's clear your fate is on the kinder than you. So you can do stuff like you can trade with them, you can do missions for them, and then they get to be nicer to you. I think we start kind of in the middle, like recruit. Oh, that's what they want me to do. Yeah, relationship 47, we can trade with them. Oh, there's the shrine. Hey, hi shrine. That's the shrine we eventually got to do. But if you take a look at it, like the Reapers, and you get to know these enemies pretty good. Hellhounds are pretty easy. They give you the Fire Imps are annoying. The Werewolves are pretty easy. They do some damage though. But the Reapers, all their ranged units seem to do a lot of damage. So you got to be kind of careful. And yeah, and here's the desert biome, which has some other stuff in it. There's some mining crap. One thing that took me a while, I couldn't find for a long time, was this right here. Forest biomes. And the interesting thing about forest biomes is they have these campfires, which gives you resin. A lot of stuff needs resin. And if you can't, like, I didn't have these forest biomes anywhere near me, and you can kind of see them pretty far away. And you do have random encounters if you're out doing a bunch. You can run into a patrol. The patrols are generally pretty small at first. You don't really have to worry about it. But yeah, doing these to get unique resources are eventually something you're going to have to do, like the resin. And you can see there's schools that give you these research materials. Those are those things that you need in order to get your research past certain points. And there's always some medicine. I think there's... Oh yeah, there we go. And the research kits. Those are tier 3s. Those are generally pretty hard. These guys spit fire at you. Legions are upgraded guys. These guys it gets pretty rough after a while. So you got to have some good armor, good weapons, increase your task force size, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's the game. And as you move about, I'm going to kind of show you my game as we go here. As you go about, as I was saying, you eventually will have a big freaking little town here. You can see I got a nice little base going on. I got a crap ton of survivors here. They're all doing their specific jobs. We got a bunch of farms. These are serving as both my primary walls as well as like places where people can sleep and stuff. Resources are getting a little low. This is what I was saying. Like, eventually I'm going to want to put mines out here, right? Get all this stuff. But I don't want people running back every few minutes. So they can just use this bed and this food table whenever they get hungry and such. That's why it faces outward. This is not a viable entryway. Demons can't go in there. You guys can't go through there. I wasn't sure about this, so I locked it off anyways. And yeah, you can see people doing things. We got a nice little watchtower. We got some lookout posts to lower our stuff. And if we look at our research tab, we can see we're starting to get through them, but there's a lot. I'm halfway through this game, I would say, and there's a lot of stuff to unlock and do. And we're always constantly running low on food. If we look at our world around us, I have not even explored most of it, just what I need to kind of keep going. We've got a bunch of different task force doing different stuff. So that's the game. It's enjoyable. Oh, here's the rituals I was talking about. Yeah, these rituals can basically let you do pretty powerful things. Logistics ritual lets you move around the map a little faster. Oh yeah, I'm doing a growth ritual, which increases my my yields from my farms. But you can kind of see as you get a lot more people, setting the right priorities is important. That way you want a pretty good efficiency. As you go into your colony management, you can see I'm actually really low. I got my efficiency is down to 114%. It used to be at 120 or so, but people are doing weird stuff. Defense planning mode. That's kind of cool. When you do this, you get to basically put where you want people to go, their combat positions whenever you're being attacked, which we're about to be attacked here. We'll deal with that later. So that's it. Let's quit back to the main menu. Yes, that's okay. Everything's lost. The Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulation. Give it a shot. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're kind of into the... I would say it's city building light, but it's kind of more like survival city building. Yeah, it's a good time though. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for joining us. Geeks Next Door podcast every Thursday night. Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcasts. And that's it. Bye.